Howdy, folks. Welcome back to another episode of Productivity with Positivity, the podcast where we figure out how to get stuff done without hating our lives in the process. I'm your host, Danny, coming to you from the great city of Houston, Texas, where the humidity is always at 100%, and so is our work ethic, for better or worse. Y'all hear that? That's the sound of today's topic. We're talking about Burnout BBQ, how to stop productivity from smoking you out. Because let's be honest, if you're from Texas like me, you know there's a big difference between smoking a brisket and smoking yourself out. One takes 12 hours and tastes delicious. The other takes years off your life and tastes like regret and stale coffee. Now, before we dive in, if you're enjoying this show, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel where we post video versions of these episodes with my beautiful face and sometimes my not-so-beautiful morning hair when I'm recording at 5 a.m. More on that later. Now let's talk burnout, y'all. That feeling when your to-do list is longer than the line at Whataburger at 2 a.m. and your energy tank is emptier than the toilet paper aisle during a pandemic. Segment 1. What is burnout? So what exactly is burnout? Is it just being tired? Is it just needing a vacation? Nah, it's deeper than that. Burnout is what happens when you've been grilling yourself at high heat for too long without any breaks. It's when you've been saying yes to everything, running on empty, and treating yourself like a productivity machine instead of a human being. The World Health Organization actually recognizes burnout as an occupational phenomenon with three main ingredients: feeling exhausted and depleted, feeling cynical or negative about your work, reduced professional efficacy, fancy talk for I can't even anymore. Introducing my buddy Mike. Works in tech, used to brag about pulling 80-hour weeks. Man came over to my place last month looking like he'd been hit by a truck. Hair all wild, bags under his eyes bigger than my mama's purse, wearing two different colored socks.
Danny, I can't remember the last time I enjoyed anything. I stare at my computer and can't even remember what I'm supposed to do.
That's burnout, folks. And it doesn't just happen to corporate folks. Stay-at-home parents, entrepreneurs, students. Burnout is equal opportunity that way. Oh, there's my phone reminding me to take a deep breath. Hang on. That's better. I actually schedule breathing breaks. My therapist suggested it and I laughed at her. Now I'm that guy with breathing reminders on his phone. And you know what? It helps. But here's the thing about burnout. We often don't see it coming. It's like when you're smoking meat. You don't just throw it on high heat and walk away. You monitor it, you adjust, you let it rest. But with ourselves, we just keep cranking up the heat, thinking we can handle it. Let me tell you a personal story. 2 years ago, I was working my day job, starting this podcast, trying to write a book, renovating my house, and saying yes to every social invitation because I didn't want to miss out. That was the sound of me hitting a wall. I got sick, like couldn't get out of bed sick, for 2 whole weeks. My body basically said, since you won't rest voluntarily, I'm gonna make you rest. And that's when I realized productivity isn't about doing more. It's about doing what matters and staying whole in the process. Segment 2. Warning signs of burnout. Let's talk about spotting burnout before it spots you. It's like recognizing the signs of a Texas thunderstorm before you get caught in a downpour without an umbrella. First warning sign. You're exhausted but can't sleep. You know that feeling? When your body's tired but your mind is racing faster than a roadrunner on espresso? That's your first red flag. Second warning sign. Everything irritates you. Your coworker's breathing is suddenly the most annoying sound in the world. The way your partner loads the dishwasher makes you question the whole relationship. You're snapping at people like a hungry alligator.
Can you please stop clicking your pen?
Been there, done that. Got the world's grumpiest coworker mug. Third warning sign. You're using unhealthy coping mechanisms more often. Maybe you're hitting the wine bottle every night just to wind down. Maybe you're spending 3 hours scrolling mindlessly through social media because you can't bear to do one more productive thing. No judgment here. My Instagram screen time during my burnout phase was higher than my credit score, and that's saying something. Fourth warning sign: you used to care and now you don't. Your passion project feels like a chore. Your dream job feels like a prison. Everything just feels meh. That's the sound of your enthusiasm leaving the building. Finally, physical symptoms start showing up: headaches, stomach problems, tension in your shoulders. That feels like you're carrying a baby elephant. Your body keeps the score, friends. Now, here's a fun little quiz I made up. I call it, Are you medium rare or well done? Answer yes or no. Do you check your work email before you even get out of bed? Have you forgotten what hobbies you used to enjoy? Is "I'm so busy" your automatic response when someone asks how you are? Do you feel guilty when you're not being productive? Has more than one person told you they're worried about you? If you answered yes to 3 or more of these, you're headed for the well done section of the Burnout BBQ, my friend. And nobody wants to be tough, dry, and overcooked. We're aiming for that juicy, perfect medium rare of productivity, where you get things done but still have flavor in your life. When I was approaching burnout, my best friend Tanya actually staged an intervention. She came over, took my laptop, and said, "We're going fishing. No phone, no excuses." I protested for about 5 minutes before realizing how desperately I needed it. We caught exactly 0 fish that day, but it was the most relaxed I'd felt in months. Sometimes you need someone to drag you away from the fire. Segment 3: The Always On Culture. Y'all, we need to talk about this always on culture we're living in. I mean, our grandparents didn't have to deal with Slack notifications at 9 p.m. or clients who expect emails returned on Sundays. Back in my day, when you left work, you left work. There wasn't a magical device in your pocket connecting you to your boss 24/7.
And they had a point. What's happened to our boundaries?
That sound gives me anxiety now. Anyone else? Just me? Here's what's crazy about our current work culture. Being busy is a status symbol. We brag about how little sleep we got or how many projects we're juggling like it's a competition. "I'm so tired. I only got 4 hours of sleep last night." "Oh yeah? I haven't slept more than 3 hours a night in a week." "That's nothing. I've been surviving on coffee and spite for a month." Why are we competing for who's most miserable? That's some backwards logic right there. And social media makes it worse. We're scrolling through highlight reels of people's lives, thinking everyone else has it figured out. Like, Carol over here is running a 6-figure business while homeschooling 4 kids and training for a marathon. And she still has time to make elaborate charcuterie boards that look like Renaissance paintings. Meanwhile, I'm over here feeling accomplished because I remembered to water my plants and floss my teeth in the same day. But here's what we don't see. Carol might be 2 panic attacks away from a complete breakdown, and those perfect Instagram posts, they might be scheduled weeks in advance by her virtual assistant while Carol's crying in her car. We don't know anyone else's full story, so comparing your behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reel is a recipe for burnout. Let me tell you about my neighbor Derek. Man works in oil and gas, big shot executive type, always talking about his hustle and how he's crushing it. One day I'm out walking my dog and I see Derek sitting in his Tesla in the driveway, engine off, just sitting there. This goes on for a week. Every day he'd sit in his car for 20 to 30 minutes before going inside. Finally, I asked him about it. Turns out he was so stressed and overwhelmed that he needed that time to decompress before he could face his family. Said he didn't want his kids to see him as stressed and angry all the time. Hit me hard, y'all. Is that what success is supposed to look like? Hiding in your car so your family doesn't see how miserable your dream job is making you? We got to redefine what success means. Maybe success isn't working until midnight. Maybe it's having dinner with your family and being present enough to actually taste the food. Maybe it's having hobbies that have nothing to do with making money. You know what my definition of success is now? Having enough mental and emotional energy left at the end of the day to actually enjoy my life. Revolutionary concept, I know. If you wish to hear more success stories through mental and emotional energy, remember to subscribe to our channel by hitting the subscribe button below. Like our video too, as your likes and subscriptions will help our channel to churn out more valuable content to people like you. Segment 4, Practical Anti-Burnout Strategies. All right, enough doom and gloom. Let's get to the good stuff. How do we actually prevent burnout? How do we tend the flames of productivity without burning the whole dang house down? First strategy, boundaries, boundaries, boundaries. Y'all need to establish some clear lines between work and life. When I started this podcast, I was answering listener emails at midnight, editing episodes during dinner, basically letting it take over my entire existence. And then I wondered why I was resenting something I used to love. So I made some rules. No work emails after 7 p.m. No podcast stuff on Sundays. No checking social media metrics more than twice a day. Was it hard at first? Harder than giving up Dr. Pepper. And that's saying something for a Texas boy. But it saved my sanity and my passion for this show. Set your work hours and stick to them. Your email will still be there tomorrow, I promise. Second strategy. Schedule recovery. Like you schedule work. I mean it. Put rest on your calendar. Block off time for things that recharge you, whether that's hiking, reading, playing video games, or just staring at a wall in blessed silence for 30 minutes. And don't you dare cancel on yourself when something more important comes up. Your recovery is the important thing. It's what makes everything else possible. I have nothing time blocked on my calendar 3 times a week. My friends laugh at me, but guess who's not having a breakdown? This guy. Third strategy. Learn to say no without explaining yourself to death. No is a complete sentence, folks. You don't have to give a 20-minute presentation on why you can't take on another project.
I'm so sorry I can't help with the bake sale, but my dog's cousin is having surgery, and I have to alphabetize my spice rack. Plus, Mercury is in retrograde, and my left toe has been feeling weird. Just say, I can't take that on right now. Period. End of story. Next topic. This was the hardest lesson for me, especially as a people pleaser raised in the South where we're taught to be helpful and nice at all costs. But saying no to things that drain you means you can say a wholehearted yes to things that matter.
Fourth strategy. Take actual breaks. Not working while eating breaks, not scrolling social media breaks. Actual breaks where you step away from screens and productivity. My friend Lisa introduced me to the concept of microbreaks, 5 to 10-minute pockets throughout the day where you fully disconnect. Go outside, look at trees, pet your dog, stretch your body. I thought it sounded like hippie nonsense, but I tried it and y'all, game changer. My afternoon productivity doubled because I wasn't dragging myself through the day on fumes. Fifth strategy, and this is my favorite, audit your shoulds. We carry around so many beliefs about what productive people should be doing. I should wake up at 5 a.m. I should always be available to my clients. I should be able to do it all without help. Wrong, wrong, and super wrong. Question every should that makes you feel inadequate or exhausted. Replace it with what actually works for your life. Instead of, I should answer emails immediately, try, I choose to check emails twice a day so I can focus better on my actual work. It's subtle, but it puts you back in control. When I was in the depths of burnout, a mentor told me something I'll never forget. She said, Danny, you're treating your life like it's a sprint, but it's actually a marathon. And not just any marathon. It's a marathon with no finish line. So you better find a sustainable pace. That hit me like a ton of bricks. We're not trying to get through a day or a week or a project. We're trying to create a sustainable way of living that can carry us through decades. And you can't sprint for decades. Segment 5, the power of morning routines. Now, let's talk about one of the most powerful tools in the anti-burnout arsenal, a solid morning routine. And no, I don't mean checking your email before your feet hit the floor. I used to be the guy who would roll out of bed, immediately grab my phone, and start responding to messages while still half asleep. My morning routine was basically panic from the moment consciousness hits. Anyone else been there? Just me? I don't believe that for a second. But then I read this book that completely changed my perspective. It's called The 5 a.m. Productivity Blueprint by Billy Jensen, and it's all about creating space for what matters. Y'all, this book isn't just about waking up early, it's about reclaiming your time. Billy breaks it down into what she calls the golden hour formula: mind, body, and goals. You spend the first hour of your day on three pillars: calming your mind, moving your body, and setting intentions. Now, I'll admit, when I first heard 5 a.m. routine, I thought, ain't nobody got time for that. But here's the kicker: it's not about losing sleep, it's about shifting your schedule so you actually gain energy. Billy teaches you how to gradually adjust your bedtime, ditch the snooze button, and use those quiet morning hours to work on your own terms. Pre-book Danny? He'd hit snooze 6 times, then panic scroll emails while chugging cold coffee. Post-book Danny? I'm that guy doing sun salutations at 5:15 a.m. like a Zen cowboy. And let me tell you, it works. My productivity skyrocketed, and I stopped feeling like a burnout rotisserie chicken by noon. But here's the best part: this ain't a one-size-fits-all approach. The book gives you customizable routines. Whether you're a meditate with incense person or a chug water and lift weights person, there's a blueprint for you. And if you're thinking, Danny, I'm not a morning person, neither was I. But Billy's method meets you where you are. It's like a BBQ rub for your circadian rhythm: slow, steady, and full of flavor. Segment 6, Listener Q&A. All right, y'all. Time for some quick-fire questions from listeners. First up, Sarah from Austin asks, how do I convince my boss to respect my boundaries? Sarah, honey, you don't convince them. You set them. Communicate your work hours clearly. If they email at 9 p.m., that's a tomorrow problem. And if they push back, hit them with facts. Studies show burned out employees are 63% more likely to take sick days. Boundaries aren't rude, they're ROI. Next, Marcus from Dallas says, I've tried morning routines before, but always quit. How do I stick with it? Marcus, my man, start small. Don't go from 8 a.m. to 5 a.m. overnight. Shift 15 minutes earlier each week. Pair it with something you love, maybe a killer playlist or a fancy coffee. And grab a buddy. Accountability's the secret sauce. Segment 7. What's next? All right, folks. We've smoked out the secrets to avoiding burnout: boundaries, recovery, and mornings that don't start with panic. But if you want to dive deeper, I've got 2 things for you. First, snag a copy of the 5 a.m. Productivity Blueprint. This book is the GPS to your best dang mornings. It's packed with science, step-by-step plans, and even a 30-day challenge to make early rising stick. Second, if you're vibing with this episode, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We drop video versions every week where you can watch me attempt yoga poses, fail at making brisket, and occasionally rant about productivity myths. Plus, we've got bonus content like interviews with Billy Jensen himself. Hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. It's free, and it helps more folks find the show. Remember, y'all, productivity isn't about how much you grind, it's about how well you shine. Keep those flames steady, take care of yourselves, and I'll catch y'all next time on Productivity with Positivity. Stay smoky, but not smoked out.